is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, good morning and welcome to the simulation or simulacra. Anyways, today is Friday, August the 19th of 2022, day 231st of the year, and only 130 fair days left to go. Yes, that's 134 days. Yeah, because for some reason when people say four, they say fur instead of four. So that's why I say 130 fur days, just in case. I remember, back in good old broadcasting school days, that's what they talked about. Anyways, why are we talking about this right now? So there you go. 134 days left to go. How have you been over the last 23 if we haven't hung out? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything exciting? Did you do anything that made you emotional? I don't know. Sometimes people do some things inside of the bathroom that makes them emotional, but that's a whole other story to talk about. Anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. And we are, of course, streaming among the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place that we do stuff at.
Join us on all major social media platforms. And we are Radio Big.
Okay, RadioBig.fm is also where we are hanging out. By the way, before I forget, because I think I should probably talk about this, the people over there at Radio Big yesterday, well, they were pretty excited. If you go to the Google Play Store or to the Apple App Store, you can now download their streaming app, exclusive streaming app. Let me make sure that I'm clear there, where it's only their stuff, their stuff. So Radio Big on the Apple App Store. For some reason, I can never say Apple App Store. Apple App Store. So Radio Big right there. Or you can also take a look at it on the Google Play Store. So you have some options there if you're so inclined to come out, hang out, and do all the fun stuff that gets done there. Anyway, so if you're new to the show, it is Friday, so we kind of go a little bit crazier on Friday than what we do normally throughout the week, so that's kind of a fun part. If you want to interact with the show, it's a really, really, really simple way of doing this. Callinradio.com. Believe me, the messaging aspect is the easiest way. Unless I get really bored and then I do other stuff as we are talking. So callinradio.com. So over the next hour or so, we'll be talking a little bit about things that are going on inside of safety in the news and safety. We'll make fun of some people because that's what we do. And then do some things, give you back some broadcasters to talk about some things that are going in the professional mechanism. And then outside of that, then I'll come back, give you a big bell, and go, mwah, and we go, voila. Then you decide if you want to go over to RadioBig.fm with me or stay here on Safety FM or just say, what the hell am I doing and why am I wasting my life in watching this? Anyways, with that being said, maybe it's time to start doing some of this.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's start talking about what was trending, because we need to talk about it. Anyways, Dr. Seuss, William Shakespeare, and current New York Times bestseller Colleen Hoover were trending after their names landed among others on the list of the authors who needed to be canceled. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Let's see. DeHaashan Watson landed on Twitter's top 10 trends on Thursday after the NFL handed down their punishment for his off-field bad behavior. We can talk a little bit more about that, but I really don't care about sports, so I don't know if I will. Anyways, stuff I should listen to was trending yesterday. Tweets included cake when it's calling my name, tips on fashion from the fashion police in action. And then last but not least was Brian Shelter was trending after CNN announced the anchor is leaving the network. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on yesterday as the things are going on. So let's talk about this because it is Friday. And what are you planning? Like, are you doing anything so exciting this weekend that you are jonesing? Yeah, I did say jonesing because you know where that comes from. You are jonesing for today to be over with because you're so excited on what your future self is going to be doing. Do you have any of that? Because there are some people that they will go around today in particular inside of their workplace of, oh my God, thank God it is Friday. Seriously. So here becomes a question. What if I told you the time has already occurred in regards of what you've already done, what your future self is planning? Wouldn't that really be confusing? Yeah, I figured I would say that because I was confused when I said it anyways. So that's it. That's part of it. So with this being said, let's talk about what is going on today in the world of the news, because I think that that's going to be important. We should bring in the professional broadcasters that like to broadcast about profession stuff. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say today. Anyway, so let's get into some of this. We'll get you jonesing for what you want to do next, and who knows what the hell that will be.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. A federal judge says he's inclined to unseal parts of the affidavit used to search former President Trump's Florida home. Mark Mayfield reports.
In a Thursday ruling, the judge told the Justice Department to file a redacted affidavit by next week before the unsealing takes place. The DOJ fought to keep the affidavit sealed to preserve the ongoing criminal investigation. The FBI raided Trump's residence on August 8th and says it removed sets of classified documents, including some that were labeled top secret. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The Trump Organization's former chief financial officer is pleading guilty to over a dozen felonies. Alan Weisselberg entered his guilty pleas in court, and he's looking at 5 months behind bars. Conditions of his plea include testifying at the company's trial if requested and paying nearly $2 million in taxes. The Biden administration's moratorium on new oil and gas leasing on federal lands is now permanently blocked. The decision issued by a federal judge Thursday night lifts the moratorium in about a dozen states that sued to have the moratorium thrown out. The Biden administration ordered the moratorium on new leasing in January of last year. A man is dead and a woman is injured after a shooting inside the mall at Prince George's in Maryland. Hyattsville Police Chief Jared Tower says shots were fired in the food court at around 4 p.m. Thursday, and the victim was dead at the scene.
This is an ongoing investigation, and I can't go into the details, but I can confirm for the community that there's no active threat and that this was not a random act.
Prince George's County Police take the lead for homicides that take place in Hyattsville, and they're now investigating. U.S. Congressman Steny Hoyer says he's shocked and devastated by the shooting, and no public place should ever experience this kind of violence. This was the second deadly shooting in the mall this year. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
From Feature Story News in Erbil, I'm Ollie Barrett. Russia's rejecting calls to demilitarize the area around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in Ukraine. At least 12 people have been killed in storms in Central and Southern Europe. There's strike action in London on the underground, overground trains and on some buses over pay and conditions, and the Japanese government's cracking down on the controversial Unification Church amid growing public concerns over its political ties.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Police in Arizona are investigating a man who pointed a gun at skateboarders outside a church in a Phoenix suburb. Trey Thomas has more.
A now viral TikTok video shows the man getting out of his car, pulling a gun from his pocket, pointing it at a group of skateboarders, and telling them to leave. The video shows the skaters leaving the grounds of the church in Gilbert. A church spokesperson said the man lives nearby but is not a member of the congregation. Gilbert police say they've taken the gun as evidence. I'm Trey Thomas.
Authorities in Northern California are saying at least 2 people are dead following a mid-air collision between 2 planes. A witness said it looked like one of the planes went right through the other.
All of a sudden, I saw in the blink of an eye another plane there, and they hit each other, and it was almost as if the faster plane had gone right through the smaller plane.
The incident took place in Watsonville, a city roughly 50 miles south of San Jose. A spokesperson for the city says the planes crashed at Watsonville Municipal Airport while trying to land. The FAA described the planes as a twin-engine Cessna 340 with 2 people on board and a single-engine Cessna 152 with 1 person on it. The cause of the crash is unknown, with a press conference scheduled for Thursday night moved to this morning. 3 men are being indicted in the death of notorious gangster James Whitey Bulger. Brian Shook reports.
Authorities charged Photius Gaius, Paul J. DeColigero, and Sean McKinnon with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in West Virginia, where Bulger had been in prison. Guards found the 89-year-old's body fatally beaten in his cell back in 2018. Once the leader of Boston's Irish mob, Bulger was on the run for more than 15 years until he was captured in California in 2011. He was sentenced to life in prison in 2013.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
The Work Y Summit is an interactive 2-day gathering that will bring like-hearted leaders together like never before as we discuss ways to better align HR, safety, and operations around one common goal: creating the future of work together. Day 1 will focus on self-performance with talks with leading experts on how to live and lead at our best. Day 2 will focus on organizational performance with discussions on what we can do together to break down silos and foster action. The Work Summit will take place at Coker Tire Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Thursday, September the 22nd and Friday, September the 23rd. For more information, go to workzbe.com/Y Summits. That's WORKZBE.com Y Summit.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/one small step, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/one small step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com/one. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Here is another bit for our competitors to copy. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Friday. Yes, that is what it is. It is Friday. So let's get some motion in the ocean and let's get you to the top of the shit list as we are talking. A dozen of people have been infected and 9 hospitalized across Ohio and Michigan after being infected with E. coli. According to a press release by the CDC, the individuals fell ill due to an outbreak of an unknown source. No death have been reported as of yet. Those infected range from the age of 6 to 91, so believe me, age does not matter. Anyway, symptoms of E. coli infection affects everyone differently, but symptoms usually include severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting, and fever. Most people recover in a week of time, so severe infections can lead to death. Boy, does this not sound like a pleasurable experience whatsoever in what they are saying over there, for sure. No, seriously, for sure.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so there you go. That's some information. So I guess if you're going to Ohio or live in Ohio or in Michigan, you should be extremely careful. Yes, that would be extremely careful. Well, what the hell you're doing over there. Anyways, a family in New Zealand was shocked to discover the bodies of 2 children hidden in suitcases that they recently purchased from an abandoned storage unit. The children believed to be between the ages of 5 and 10 had been dead for a number of years, and the suitcases had been in storage for about 3 or 4 years, according to a detective inspector. So the family had purchased the personal and household items in an online auction and did not physically see the items until they were delivered at their home. A homicide investigation is now underway. So let's think about this for a second. You order some stuff online because, hey, you're trying to be like, the cool person. You're doing storage wars from home. So good for you. I'm pulling that out. All of a sudden, you had some suitcases delivered to your household. You open those bad boys up, and there's some dead kids in there. I don't know how graphic that stuff has to be, but I can't imagine or even fathom what the hell's going through your mind the moment that occurs, because I'm sure there's some doubts that are happening right away in regards of what is happening inside of the world, because you're going, okay, is this a joke? Or am I kidding? Or what the hell has just happened? I mean, think about that social economic impact that's going to have to, number one, that area. Also, once the discovery of Jane Doe and John Doe on what the hell is going on, that's going to make some questions actually for sure occur.
It's this show, and they just make fun of a whole bunch of people. It's just too funny. It's too stupid.
Rated R Safety Show.
Anyways, gusty winds and rainstorms are sent to porta potties flying during a food festival in downtown Albany, New York earlier this week. Video shows attendees running for shelter from the storm while dodging the flying shit piles that are going all over the place. Plaza officials told the Post that the event had to be called off due to the severe weather and precautions of the potty situation. No word whether anyone was using the commode when they started flinging around. Now, think about that. Now, you heard about it actually raining cats and dogs, but for sure, you can call this one a shitstorm and get away with it with no problem.
Duh.
Anyway, so let's continue talking real quick. As the demanded for, the vasectomies increase in light of Roe v. Wade being overturned, a new TikTok trend has been created. What a surprise, a new TikTok trend. As of Thursday afternoon, there were 522.5 million videos on the app that contain hashtag vasectomy. Many of the videos feature men going through the procedure and some encouraging others to do the same. One video featuring a Texas-based comedian speaking out about the vasectomy has over 3.2 million views. Snip, snip. So think about that real quick. So what do you think? Is this something that you would consider doing? If you disagree so strongly with it, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and you are a male, of course, would you consider having a vasectomy? I mean, it's some interesting stuff to think about. Let's not lie, because there are some questions to be had. There are some questions to that we need to have answers to if that is the decision. I mean, is that something you would consider doing? And of course, if you've had a vasectomy, there probably are tons of questions that people will have, like, does it change the sensation? Does everything change? Well, all that kind of fun stuff and questions. So, snip, snip, baby. A Los Angeles-based urologist told the Washington Post that he has seen over 300 to 400% increase in vasectomy consultations since the Supreme Court decision. So let's talk about this. When you start giving me percentages like 300 to 400%, what were you seeing before? Was that like 1 or 2 a week? Was that like 10 a week? So I don't know what the numbers are. So a 300 to 400% increase, what does that mean to me, average Joe consumer, to have a better understanding of what the hell is going on?
Rated R Safety Show. Sarcastic? Never.
Okay, researcher from Tufts University in Boston spent 3 years investigating over 8,000 different types of food and drinks and ranking them between 0 and 100, with 100 being the most healthy. The lowest scores were snacks and sweet desserts, with an average of 16.4 at the score. The highest scores were veggies at 69.1, fruits at 73.9, and legumes and nuts at 78.6. For meats and beefs was 24.9, poultry was at 42.7, and seafood was at 67, all regards of points. In the drink category, sugar-sweetened sodas and energy drinks landed at 27.6, while 100% fruit and veggie juices landed at 67. On a shocking find and a pleasant surprise the most was that based on the metrics used, chocolate ice cream scored 35 points, while chocolate granola bars received 15. Frozen yogurt only scored 23. So we talked about this briefly yesterday, and now we're talking about it again today. So even if you listen to Van Camp and Morgan, they talked about it yesterday. But this is the interesting part. Does this mean that there will be an increase in chocolate ice cream sales now? And let's talk a little bit. Rocky Road has nuts and marshmallows. So do you get a little extra score in points there if you decide to go that angle?
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Anyways, I think it's time and close enough to do so. So let's do this. Let's talk to Mr. John Smalls, and let's see what's going on with the Market Beat.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, August 19th, 2022. Equities hovered near break-even Thursday following another decline in the index of leading indicators. The index fell 0.4% in the month of July, making it the fourth straight month of decline. But there is some good news. The 0.4% is better than the 0.5% indicated by the consensus estimates and an improvement from the prior month's 0.7%. If this turns into a trend, economic expansion could be back on the table by the end of the quarter. But it's too soon to tell. Next week could be a tough one for the market. There are very few earnings reports on the schedule, but at least one major economic report that could move the market. The PCE price index is due out Friday, and that will give the latest read on consumer inflation. A better than expected report will send the market higher. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, John Smalls, for that one and letting us know what is exactly going on inside of El Marketo. Yes, the market, that is for sure. Let's talk real quick about what is going on a little bit more inside of the market. The Dow gained about 19 points on Thursday to close at 33,999. The S&P added about 9 points to close at 4,283, and while the Nasdaq added about 27 points to close at 12,965. West Texas Intermediate went up on Thursday to close at $90.56, and Brent crude closed at 97. The average price of a gallon of gas was up to $3.93 on Thursday, and Bitcoin was up by $8 on Thursday, trading around 23,349. There was about 2,979 flight delays into, within, and out of the U.S. on Thursdays, and about 272 such cancellations. So there you go. Anyways, if you want to know what the hell is going on with the charts because you're trying to figure out what movies to watch over the weekend because you're going to be sitting your rumpus at home, well, I got a couple of the ones that are coming out. New to Amazon Prime will be RoboCop, but it does not say if it's the new edition or the most recent edition or the older one. And then new to Hulu will be International Falls. So there you go. Some stuff to think about as we are talking in that particular regards. Anyways, let's continue talking a little bit more about what is going on in this world case scenario of what we talk about when it comes to the world of the news. Anyways, talking a little bit about health and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's do this real quick. Ventura County organized health systems and 3 medical care providers will pay nearly $71 million in a settlement. Take a listen to what Daniel Martindale has to say.
It's to settle allegations that they submitted false claims to Medi-Cal connected with Medicaid adult expansion under the Affordable Care Act. Submitting or causing the submission of false claims is against both federal and state laws. The medical entities are accused of submitting false claims between January 2014 and May 2015. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that one. That will be an interesting news story as it continues to develop of exactly what is going on right there. Anyways, let's talk a little bit more here. A 67-year-old man has been found guilty of committing 2 murders in Burbank and in Montclair, California in the 1980s. The victim family members are breathing a sigh of relief.
It was definitely a huge relief, and I'm not going to lie, it was a great moment to see the end of this reign of terror.
Horace Van Volts, who the prosecutors call a serial killer, was convicted on Thursday. DNA evidence connects him with rapes and murders of both victims, a 21-year-old woman who was found dead back in 1981 and a 22-year-old woman who was found back in 1986. Volts claimed that he had consensual sex with both women, then someone else showed up and killed them. Talk about a string of bad luck. I mean, that's not something that you'd want. You're having sex with some women and all of a sudden, boom, somebody else is coming around and killing them.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. Let's continue talking a little bit more about some things that are going on real quick. Let's see. Republican candidate Illinois Governor Darren Bailey continues to blast Chicago over issues with gun violence. The state senator spoke yesterday during a GOP annual day at the Illinois State Fair. Take a listen.
Are legislators going soft on criminals to the point that they've made Chicago a hellhole, friends?
Okay, Bailey first used the term described to Chicago in a televised debate in May. When asked later about the comment, Bailey doubled down by saying that Chicago is unsafe and Chicagoans deserve better. Sounds very familiar when we talk about it. Okay, so let's see. Police and fire officials in Chicago are using everyone to be responsible for Lake Michigan following multiple apparent drownings in recent days. Officials say that everyone should wear personal flotation devices as they swim with a partner.
If you're going to swim, if you're going to boat, don't drink. We can have fun without drinking. The most important thing you're going to do is bring yourself and your loved ones safely back home.
One of the apparent drowned after falling from a boat on Wednesday night near the Jardine Walter filtration plant. Early yesterday, a man died after he was pulled from the Monroe Harbor. Those incidents came after 2 women were severely injured in a boating accident last Saturday in an area of the lake called Playpen. So there you go. So if you're out there, have some fun, but don't have too much fun because nobody wants you falling overboard. That is for sure. Anyway, staying in Michigan for just a hot minute, Brandon Caserta says the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmore over COVID-19 restriction has, coincided by the FBI, says that the men on trial like to shoot guns and talk crap. Caserta was acquitted by the federal jury on April the 8th and spoke to reporters outside the federal court yesterday in the case against Adam Fox, and Barry Croft is expected to wrap up today.
I hope this jury does, the same thing that the last jury did for us. They don't deserve to be in here for saying mean things and offending people.
He says that it's ridiculous that the government continues their narrative that these people are actually terrorists. Caserta says that he is still trying to rebuild his life after spending 18 months in jail. Brandon Caserta was acquitted in the Governor Whitmore kidnapping plot, by the way, just in case if you don't remember that.
I think it's sad. I think it's ridiculous that the government's still going to try to continue to push this narrative that these people are actually terrorists.
So there you go. Some stuff going on right there. Take a listen to this. Apparently, we're hanging out in Michigan today. Brandon Kucera. No, I already talked about this. Why is this popping up again? Let's talk about this one because this will be closer a little bit to home. A mother is dead and her child, along with a teenager, are hurt after being struck by lightning near Florida Elementary School. One witness saw the entire tragedy take place, saying that her daughter is friends with the child that was struck.
At first, I didn't even realize that it was her. But then when she started coming around a little bit more, then I could see more of her face, and I said, "Oh gosh, this is her," and it just really took my breath away. Yeah, it was heart clenching. Yeah, for sure.
The mother passed away just hours after being struck. Fire officials say that in Seminole County, about 25 miles north of Orlando, say that 2 survivors are recovering in a local hospital. Parents at the school explained that the area that the strike happened is a popular pickup spot for children. It is reported that it hit a tree, and they're also waiting underneath. Another child got hit on the way out of school. The district says that it will have counselors on campus today to support students and staff members, and it will consider a tight-knit community. Local mayor gives his condolences after the fatal strike in Florida.
I just can't imagine. I mean, certainly my heart goes out to the entire community, from the children to the crossing guard to the first responders that came out. It's tough.
One mom whose daughter says it is a trend with child victims further describes the scene as a tragedy happened.
I don't even know why I looked, and I saw people on the ground, and then somebody was waving over the crossing guard like help, and I was like, oh no, something's happening.
Another parent said that they were about 15 feet away when all of this went down.
It sounds kind of cliche, but you just want to help. People were down, like, call 911. I already had my phone out.
So there you go. A lot of interesting stuff going on in that particular segment. Let's do this, even though it's not typical for a Friday.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, let's talk about it because it is Friday, and, I'm kind of in one of those tizzy-izzies that maybe we should start talking about some stuff. And let's have some truth. Let's have some truth bombs going down today. Let's talk about some of the stuff that people don't want to talk about in our lovely, lovely industry. It's kind of interesting to me that this continues still to be a thing. This continues still to be a subject matter of conversation in regards of some of the things that we do, and I just don't understand why. Maybe that's the big one. So let's do this a little bit. Let's bring this up for a moment. But why is it that we continue to tote the line on where we want to have knowledge base about what is going on inside of our industry, but we have to pay some money out there to be able to be members of a group to be able to obtain that knowledge base? Now, listen, I don't mind going to schooling, but they're not suckering me into having a membership to be able to go to their coursework, or a annual membership fee for me having to pay to coincide with still having these letters behind my name. Like, hey, I understand that there's alumni clubs that you get to pay for if you want to do that once you graduate college, but it's not like it's an ongoing thing where I have to continue to pay because I decided to take a course 10 years ago and you haven't done anything for me. The other thing that I don't understand about our lovely little industry is this pay-to-play bullshit that people do in regards of awards. Why is it that people want to be so braggadocious about awards that they have paid somebody to give them? It doesn't make sense to me. It is also one of the strangest things that I see on social media, not sometimes, but all the time, of people buying awards and then bragging to come to their event to see them be handed the award that they paid for. What does that bring your way? And I guess if we're on the subject of paying for stuff, this is another thing that I find interesting inside of our industry. People paying for downloads or listens to their podcast, and then to brag about the numbers of shit that they do online. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why is it that vanity numbers and vanity items seem to be so important on social media? Or do we tend to take a look at the things that people are doing in social media to see how they're living the life, but it's not all that important anyways? Because listen to it. Listen to it for a moment. I'm not saying I want to see videos of incidents and accidents that are happening and taking place out there, but why is it that we have that portion of the weird where all of a sudden we deem it important to all of a sudden to only talk about the greater portions of life, especially if it's things that we bought out? It doesn't make sense to me. And if you are assisting younger generations of safety professionals to be able to move forward and see exactly what is going on, why are you selling them a line of bullshit? Seriously, it's some stuff to think about. Why is it that this industry is, let me show you what I have done, when most of the times it's not even a realistic approach? Now, the fun part that I've noticed too is, why is it that we don't focus on the core information of what's important to people? And why is it that there's so many people that talk about how they go and do these large speeches at these safety events, but they only show picture of themselves from the stage, but never show what the audience looks like? It's kind of interesting on how it all works. Now, am I bitching on a Friday? Well, it sounds like it, but I just don't understand why we don't take the things in our industry and make them more important for people. We tend to make this focus about ourselves, not all of us, but some of us, because we need to feel self-important. It's just a strange aspect. Think about that. A lot of strange things going on today. That's the way that it seems for sure. What a thing to consider. What a world do we live in that things are that crazy.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
As
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants. Oh, there you go. Some truth bombs on a Friday. I will shut up when I'm not telling you the truth. There you go. 43 minutes past the top of the hour. This is the Rated R Safety Show. We try to keep it as real as possible here. Love me or hate me. Tell me that I'm lying, baby. Anyways, this is Let's Get Out. This is by Basics, because that's what I'm trying to get you back to, the basics. This song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. Oh, there you go. Thanks to Basics for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. There you go. 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 Anyways, let's get back into it. A lot of stuff still going on. A lot of stuff still to talk about. Wow. Wowzers. So let's get into this real quick before I get too far away with the music, because I tend to have a bad habit of doing that. Anyways, taking a look around and looking at what this lovely world of ours has to offer, because I think that it's important to do that. We need to take a look and remember that not everything is always perfect for everyone. I mean, keep that in mind, because I think that that's some important stuff to talk about. So let's not get weird in talking about that whatsoever. But we need to remember that not everything is perfect all the time. And let me tell you real quick about my friends at 9888 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. It's a national network of local crisis centers that provides free and confidential emotional support for people in suicidal crisis or emotional distress 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the United States. They are committed to improving crisis services and advancing suicide prevention by empowering individuals in advancing professional best practices and building awareness. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to 9888lifeline.org. That's 9888lifeline.org. Or you can text the word TALK to 988, or you can call 988 directly from your cellular if you are here in the U.S. of A's. So there you go. Some stuff to think about as we are talking on this lovely, I almost said Monday. Wow, I would have just taken a back seat in time in regards of what the hell I was talking about. So there you go. Some stuff to think about real quick. I think before I say my next news story, I think we should probably just jump forward and do some motivation minute stuff. What do you think here? I think that's the angle. Let's do that angle.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Michael. Ray Kroc said, "If you work just for money, you'll never make it. But if you love what you're doing and you always put the customer first, success will be yours." I love this. Ray, if you don't know, was the founder of the franchise known as McDonald's. Now, he didn't invent the system. The McDonald brothers did that. He spread their system all around the world. This company has also given many people their first job. I've never worked there myself, but I know dozens of people who have, and I bet many people listening right now have as well. Whatever you find yourself doing, make sure you enjoy it and be nice to your customers, and you'll go far. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlessaMorgan.com. Celebrating wins is very important, but celebrating too many wins too often may actually have an adverse effect on your motivation. The best way to reward yourself for a job well done is random intermittent reward. One of the best ways to keep the motivation hormone dopamine going is to use a similar tactic that casinos use to keep us in a state of motivation. If you think about most activities, when we make a mistake, the next round is the one we pay most attention to. If we succeed on the first round of doing something that's new for us, the nervous system tends to pay less attention to the next round of the same activity because success puts our brain into a mode of lesser effort and relaxation. So errors we make actually cue up the activity of prefrontal cortex, and they are key to learning. For more information, check out AlessaMorgan.com.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Relationships are a mixed bag, richly rewarding and at times extremely stressful. Often there are hurt feelings, disappointments, and misunderstandings. When that happens, it's critically important to remember that the relationship is more important than your hurt feelings. Even if you feel the other person is to blame, ask the Lord to show you what you may have done to cause a misunderstanding or what you can do to restore the relationship. If the Lord shows you where you are to blame, apologize without making excuses. Never say, "I'm sorry, but." Lord, forgive us and heal the hurts we have caused. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Always replicated, but never duplicated. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. Let's get back into some other things that are going on inside of the world. Let's get into the news of the weird, because I think it's some weird times, so let's do some more news stuff. Anyways, a Nevada woman is now the legal owner of an entire neighborhood after the title for her 595,000 home mistakenly included further 84 properties worth about $50 million. The unnamed woman intended to buy one home in Sparks near Reno, and when she filed the document in the with the assessor, it was noticed that there was a massive error, and she was an additional 84 properties in 2 common spaces. The chief of deputy assessor for Washoe County said that it appeared that there had been a typing error that was made in the firm at Webmaster's title. That meant that the woman who planned to purchase just one property ended up giving the title deeds of score to others too, many in which have already been sold and had homes built on them. Those involved in working on a resolution, but at least for now, she can say that she is the nicest, has the nicest lawn in the neighborhood. So think about that real quick. Imagine that you ended up owning a lot more properties than what you thought. Would that be exciting for you? And would you start evicting some people if you needed to do so? Anyways, police believe that they have determined determined who or what had been called 911 from the zoo last Saturday night. The St. Louis Obispo County, in California Sheriff's Office says that it was a little kabuchi monkey. The call disconnected and dispatchers tried to call and text back, and there was no response, so police sent out to investigate. The address turned out to be the zoo to you, but no one there admitted making the call. Police finally deducted that the monkey named Route had apparently picked up the zoo's cell phone, which was on a golf cart, and dialed an emergency number, or at least he's the primate suspect. You get it? The primate suspect. You know, a little play on words there. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Did You Know? These days, more and more adults are picking thrilled park adventure vacations over relaxing by the pool rather than the traditional beach break. A survey of 2,000 adults over 40 found that 4 in 10 are choosing gateways or getaways that involve hiking, horseback riding, cycling, or skiing. Also popular is riding roller coasters while camping, snorkeling, kayaking, mountain climbing, and zip lining. And those yet to experience such activities, 73% are seeking to be more active following the events of the pandemic. More than half, 56%, said that they are looking to have more memories while they can, and 49% are seeking more vacation fun again. So there you go. Allow me to be the first of starting selling the MVFA hat. You get it? The MVFA hat. I just don't know what color it would be, because that's going to probably be the most problematic thing that we ever talk about in that particular regards. Seriously, think about it.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, getting into some other stuff real quick. Let's do this. Let's talk about it. Let's look at what's going on. No winner for Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $99 million jackpot or a $56.5 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday night's Powerball drawing either. Saturday night's drawing will be for $80 million jackpot or a $46.4 million cash payout. So if you're on the luck of looking at some new stuff, there you go. Anyway, some new albums dropping today. Cassie McCombs with Heart Mind, Demi Lovato with Holy Fuck, Eli Winter with Eli Winter, Flung with Angel, Larry June with Spaceship on the Blade, Madonna Finally Enough Love, 50 number ones, Panic at the Disco with Viva La Vengeance, Silver Sun Pickups with Physical Thrills. That is just to name a few. If you're looking for some things to do, some things to play. So there you go. What else do we have going on? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some things that happened back on this day, because I think we're close enough to talk about that. Do we want to talk about that? Yeah, let's talk about that. The things that happened back on this date. Let's take a look at 2020. Apple becomes the first U.S. company to be valued at $2 trillion. The milestone was reached just 2 years after hitting the $1 trillion mark. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, let's talk about them. Romeo Miller turns 33. Christina Perry turns 36. Fat Joe turns 52. Matthew Perry turns 53. John Stamos 59. Bill Clinton turns 76 today. So there you go. There's some birthdays that are going on inside of the world. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I have some of those for you today. It's National Aviation Day and National Soft Ice Cream Day. I think that's a day that we should all enjoy together at some point. Anyways, using 52 metrics across 5 categories: affordability, economy, education, and health, quality of life, and safety, Wallet Hub has ranked all 50 states for the best place to live to worst place to live. Here are the top 10. Here we go. We're going to take it from number 10 up. At number 10 is Wisconsin. At number 9, Minnesota. At number 8, Wyoming. Number 7, Florida. Number 6, New Hampshire. At number 5, Virginia. Number 4, Idaho, and Ida Pimp. At number 3, New York. Number 2, New Jersey. And the best place to live, according to Wallet Hub, is Massachusetts. Are you shocked? I don't know. Should you be? So there you go. If you're looking at some new states to move to, that might be one for you to give some consideration to. There you go. Some things to think about for sure as we are talking. Anyways, with that being said, I think that's going to pretty much sum up everything that we have going on here. Keep in mind, I'll be going over to RadioBig.fm here for the next couple hours if you want to come out, hang out, and do all the fun stuff that we get to do together. Let me give you a couple of things real quick. If you're looking for a random joke for today, here you go. When you think about it, it's the worst possible place for her to sell seashells. If you need something for a phone starter, try this. If you had a weekend theme song, what would it be? If you need something for the water cooler, try this as a question. You are more likely to do this at 6 p.m. than any other time of the day. What is it? Order food for delivery. That's what it is. And so that's it. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, we could not do what we do around here. If I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one, and hopefully this will get you through the weekend. Success is like wrestling with a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired. Think about it. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
I don't wanna waste a minute. Don't have any plans, swing it. If you got a glass, fill it. 'Cause I need it now. Money is a bitch in it. I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it. 'Cause I need it now. Take me to a place where the music's loud. I don't wanna think right now. Flashing lights running through the crowd. I don't ever wanna stop. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to fucking drop it with you now. With you now. Tear the roof off every building. I know I'll be spending millions with you. Just tell me what you wanna do. So let's get out. Let's get out. I got money in my pocket and I'm about to spend it all. I don't wanna waste a minute. Don't have any plans, swing it. If you got a glass, fill it. 'Cause I need it now. Money is a bitch in it. I don't wanna think about it. So if you know the song, sing it. 'Cause I need